Let's make sure that our cameras are on and let's get ready to rock. Great morning. Great morning, Crystal. Great morning, Sade. Great morning, Naisha. Great morning, Cedar. Great morning, Anthony King. Great morning, Robert Cherry. All right, guys, great morning. All right, so we should have more on this call. Good morning, Dudley. Great morning. Who is iPhone 3? Is that Pam? That might be Pam. Or if that's Talia, let me know. Great morning, guys. Cameras on. Let's get it. If you're anything like me, you're live and alert, ready to learn from our leadership. This is our leadership training call. This is where we get a chance to learn from our leadership, and then we open up the call for any questions or concerns that you may have so that you can have a successful week. All right, guys, cameras on, cameras on. Hopefully you guys had a Merry Christmas. Enjoyed it with your family. Thank you. Great morning. Great morning. Good morning. Great morning. Great morning. All right, guys. With that being said, it's already now almost 10 minutes after. You guys can hear me. If you can't come off mute, make some noise.
Quincy, you cutting out really bad on my end. We lost him.
Mine too.
All right, guys, I am back. Can you guys hear me a little bit better now? Great. So while I have a good internet connection right now, I hope you guys heard me, by the way. This is our leadership training call. This is where we get a chance to learn from the leaders, and then obviously we open up the call so that you can, get any questions or concerns you need asked. So to break up again, I just throw the ball around. We're going to start on the acquisition. Charlene McNamara, take the call away.
Great morning, everyone. Great morning. Let's get the cameras on. We keep asking, let's turn these cameras on. This is our leadership training. Let us know you're alive and alert this morning so we can see who we training, who wants to learn. As Quincy mentioned, my name is Charlene. I am the talent acquisition for Bridge the Gap Marketing. And my topic of what I want to speak on this morning is adapting to change. Nobody likes change. We hate when we have to do anything differently from the way that we have been taught or shown to do it. But nobody likes to change, but we have to accept that change does take place. We have to understand that it's a natural part of life, in your life, whether it's in your personal side of your life or in your workplace side of your life. Changes are always coming, and you can, the sooner you adapt, the more quickly you'll be able to handle the change. Only when you resist the change is when the change seems to be a hindrance to you. The only you accept the change is follow through with what the change needs you to do in the ways that you're needed to change, then you should be able to adapt and accept that change as well. Second thing, you need to stay positive when trying to adapt to change. Regardless of what group, department, or whatever that you're in, you got to have a positive attitude. It's essential in order to be successful at your work. So you want to make sure you always stay positive, keep a good attitude about it, maintain the ability to view changes with a positive attitude that's gonna help you adjust quickly. All adapting to change, you need to be able to do quickly. Adapting to change, it shouldn't take you months or weeks or years to adapt to change. Change is something that once you grasp on that what the change is, you just follow through with it. Also, the third thing is to get a fresh perspective on change. Seek advice from people around you, people outside of you that have dealt with change. I know some people are used to doing things one way only. If it's another way to do it, they don't even want to learn it. They just want to continue. Even if it's a longer process for them, they will still continue to do that long process rather than adapt to the change. The change might be some way that you can do it even sooner or quicker and easier. But you got to be able to get a fresh perspective on it because you want to definitely understand what is occurring occurring around you and with you while you're making this change, because the change doesn't only happen with what you're working with or what you're doing, it also happens with you as well. So that means you got to adapt to the change as well as the change. You adapting to what you're changing. So you always want to make sure that you get a fresh perspective on that. Also, you want to focus on what you can control when change or adapting to change. Allow yourself to focus on the tasks and responsibilities that you have to complete control over. You know, this is a shift in the mindset, I guess you should say. Anything that you can't control, don't stress yourself about. The part that you can control, just do what you need to do, take care of your responsibilities on that manner. But you know, you still gonna have to be able to control it. You're gonna have to be able to control your feelings about the situation. You have to be able to control. Don't put negativity out there. I don't like this. I don't want to do that. I done it like this for days and years, whatever. Always be willing to adapt to the change, because that's what's going to help you grow. That's your mindset that's telling you that you can adapt. You can adapt to anything that you need to adapt to if it's the right thing for you to be adapting. I'm telling you, adapt negative things, but always adapt to positive things. And the fifth thing is set new goals. Set new goals. Once you adapt, set new goals for what that new adaptation has caused, push you in to do. If it's something that tells you that, well, we're gonna increase our sales this month and we're gonna start getting out there every morning, everybody's gonna meet and we're gonna meet at this time and we're gonna do this, then make those changes, make those plans, set your goals to where, yeah, I can be able to do that. I can get where I need to get. I can be where I need to be, do what I need to do. So make sure you set those new goals to get farther ahead with what you are trying to do. This can help you stay positive at work as well and motivate you to increase, your productivity. And the last thing is stay connected to your coworkers. Staying connected to your coworkers during changes and readapting to things can be a good thing as well, because some people just listening to what other people say will give you an outlook of what it is that you don't want to say. So you want to make sure that you stay connected to your coworkers. Let them know that the change is going to be good. Any changes that we make in this company, we might not always agree with them. We might not always understand what they are, but we know what we have to do to be able to do our jobs. We have to get on the board. We have to get part of the routine together to be able to make these changes. But that was my topic this morning, was adapting to change, because this company is growing every day. We're always changing. There's new things coming day in, day out. So I just want to reiterate that I gave you 6 topics on adapting to change. First, it was accept the change. Second, stay positive. Third, get a fresh perspective. 4, focus on what you can control. 5, set new goals. And 6, stay connected to your coworkers. And thank you guys this morning. If you have any questions about adapting to change, drop them in the chat.
Thank you, Ms. Charlene. Appreciate that. That was amazing, adapting to change. So yes, adapting to change is necessary. We have to adapt to change. Things change all the time. So thank you so much for that, Ms. Charlene. Appreciate it. So let's throw some fire in the chat for Ms. Charlene. I'm going to now throw the ball over to Darlie, who is number 3 in the call center. Darlie, let's get it.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Call Center Extension 3, and I also help with onboarding. So this morning, my topic is on definitely the same thing that Ms. Charlene went over, but I'm really going to show you on this how to really adapt to the change that happened yesterday with Verizon.com, right? Because that was a big thing for most of you. You probably never went through this before, or you didn't really know how to handle it. So I'm just going to show you guys how to search for addresses on your tablet. And I'm sure most of you guys already do have a tablet. So even if you call into the call center and you do have a tablet, at least you know how to search up an address, right? And first and foremost, I just want to mention that, Verizon.com is just a tool that we choose to use, that we choose to use so that we can look up addresses and waive the installation fee. It's not a requirement for a sales agent or for anybody to use it to, process their sales. If you had a customer just call into Verizon themselves to place an order to get internet, they would not waive the installation fee for them. So that's why it's not the best thing for us to attach ourselves to that, because when, let's say it's not available anymore, just like it wasn't working yesterday, there are other ways where you can still save that sale. We don't have to hold on to waiving the installation fee as a clutch. That's not the only way you can get a sale. You could still get the sale regardless, right? So, and I also want to say, all of the other companies, well, not all of them, but most of them, they don't even know how to waive the installation fee for their customers. So it's just something that we just so happen to have the knowledge, and we help our customers. We just go the extra mile for our customers. It's amazing. But still, we are sales agent, and we have to know other ways to still make our money, to still help out, because there are people who are willing to pay the installation fee because that's what's required. That's what most of the other internet providers do. You have to pay for your internet to be installed. It's a one-time fee, okay? So I'm just gonna show you when something like that happens and it's hard to get on Verizon.com, or it's not populating the addresses. You can also go on Optics, look up that same address, and if they are wired for Fios, it will show you that on Optics. And if it's not, sometimes Verizon.com, it is accurate. It'll tell you, no, it's not available, and you look it up on Optics, it's still not available. But it's still a good thing to know how to do that yourself so you can double check. So this is just a way to double check, and I'm gonna show you. I hope you can see it on this. Can you guys see the tablet?
Yes.
Yes, Ms. Harley.
Okay, great. So you guys know when you're searching the address, you have to go to search, right? Search account, that's where you have to go. So that's where I'm gonna click now. I'm gonna search account. Does anybody have an address that they'd like to let me use for this little demonstration?
You could use mine, 633.
Hold on. Thank you,
Don't
Charlotte.
nobody pop up at my door.
Thank you. So what I
633. Oh,
hold
sorry.
on. Sorry. So what I usually do, where it asks for the customer's name, I'll just put any random letter just so that it can let me to go to the next step, because it won't let you move on without putting in something for the name. So I'm just gonna put a letter and press next. All right. So as soon as I do that, that's where it's gonna take me. To get a better search result, I have to put the customer's address. And of course, the first thing to put is the zip code. So I'm just gonna put the zip code. Shawty, what's your zip code?
23225.
23225. Thank you. What's your address?
633 Westover Hills Boulevard, WESTOVER HILLS Boulevard, Richmond, Virginia, apartment C.
Thank you so much, Sade. So now that I got that, everything is good. I have the address put up, so I'm just gonna go ahead and press next. And when I do, it's telling me that the address was found. So this is great. They have the address in the system, and that doesn't mean that they can't get Fios. So you still have to go a step further so that they tell you what exactly can this customer get. Because sometimes they might have the address on file, but they can't get Fios internet, or maybe they can get TV, or they get something else that Verizon provides. So you still have to go ahead and press next. And once you press next, this is the page that you're looking for. So you're looking for this page. It's telling you what services the customer has available to them. And it's telling you whether they have Fios internet, they have voice, they have TV, whatever it is that they have, that's where it's gonna tell you what they have. So once you see this, you can literally go ahead and press next and go ahead and do the whole order. But when you do it that way, the customer does have to pay for the installation fee. And that is okay. A lot of customers, they are willing to pay for it. The only customers that sometimes aren't willing to pay for it, maybe they just don't have it, or you just pitch them the free internet. So they kind of feel like, well, I thought you said it was free, so I'm not doing this. Now they just don't trust you because the first thing you told them was free internet. And now you tell them they have to pay some installation fee, they won't trust you. But just like, we know how to upsell and sell the gigs. If you go ahead and just not judge a book by its cover, you try to sell them what they need, not what you think you want them to have, because it's easier to sell it to them. It's going to be okay. That way they have to pay the installation fee, and it's the same process as when you're processing a regular order, whether you went to Verizon.com. Still press next, do everything, credit check. And another thing that I do like about this, when you check up the address, you press next, you can also see if the customer has Verizon already. So that's something that I do when it pops up on Verizon.com, when you're doing the smart cart and it says this person already has Verizon. So you can still come up here on Optics, look up the address. It will give you all of the person's information if they do have Verizon. So it's going to tell you existing customer, this is what they have. And it's going to show you the name of the customer, which is perfect. So you can even ask your customer, what's your name? And if they lied to you and said they didn't have service, and then the name they gave you, you're going to see it on Optics. So you can really see if, they have Verizon or not. Yeah, so that's basically it. And another thing that I wanted to mention that Ms. Charlene said, stay close to your co-workers. And I think that's amazing. That's a great tip, to stay close to each other. Like if one of you is going through something, more than likely another agent might be going through that same issue. So it's good to call around and ask each other, hey, like, are you experiencing this issue? But don't panic, because things happen. Just like Verizon may stop working today for an hour or maybe 30 minutes, it's going to go ahead and, be back. Just like later on yesterday, it started working. That's happened to me before. And I learned this tip from Lamisha when I was doing the call center. I would get, Verizon wouldn't work. I would ask her, hey, how do I still sell if I can't waive the installation fee? And then she told me how to do this. That's how I did it, and it worked. The only thing is they have to pay the installation fee, and that's okay. So like Ms. Charlene says, stay close to each other and we can help each other. We can absolutely help each other to panic and do what we need to do. If you know something, show somebody else how to do it. And that's how we can win together. So I hope that made sense to you guys. If you understood what I showed you, that's all I have for you this morning. Let me know if you guys have questions in the chat.
Yes, great job, Ms. Arlie. Amazing. So, Ms. Arlie, how to look up addresses on Optics and how to handle it when the smart card isn't working. That's amazing, because that's how it used to be done until we had the free internet. So the $99 fee, the customer doesn't mind paying, and also they're getting free internet for it. So like Ms. Arlie said, that's amazing, especially to know how to do that. It's nothing to panic about. It's nothing to, fret about. But just like Darlie just said, she showed it, and it's easy to do. Yes, great job, Darlie. Let's throw some fire in the chat for her.
I asked a question about that.
Go ahead, King.
Like when she was doing the smart card on the tablet or whatever, she saw who had the service in there. If that name don't match the person that had the service in there, can't we use a different name if that's the same address? Or that's just a no-go? Don't you know how some people be lying saying they don't got Verizon, or they saying they got Verizon? But when she just checked and see what service they got. If a person name that's different from that name, can't we just put their name, they order in too, because they two different people, and we just verified it because they don't have the same name?
Darlie?
No, I would not recommend you do that, because it's not just about the name, it's about the address. one address cannot have two internet services at the same time. So if they already do have services, even though it's not their name on there, you can't give them services because they already have internet in that location. So that's the whole reason why, because they have it, we can't give it to them.
So we can only basically do that with like
New
room
custom.
and room and boards, like people like that live in a room and board and crib, a house.
What do you mean?
Let's say if somebody live in a room and board house, like you understand they have the option to put the floor and the unit number or whatever. And
Yeah,
sometimes that's cool, right? That's all right. It's just as long as it's not a single family home.
as long as it's not the same home and it's not telling you they already have it. I know sometimes for the rooming situations, they do have different floors or apartment numbers or room numbers. And when you put them, it's gonna tell you which one has files and which one doesn't. So you could still go about it that way. And one thing I've done, if it shows that, if it's a different name and it says that they have services, I'll ask them, do you know who this person is? And more than likely they will know the name of who the person is. They'll know the person. And I've had a customer tell me, oh, this is so and so. They moved out though, and they canceled a long time ago. So I'll just say, okay, well, get with that person because it's still in the system. Have them really call Verizon and cancel, and then we can give you services. Or, if when they still cancel, if it's allowing us to go through and we go through, you have to provide Verizon that you do live there and the other person doesn't live there anymore and they cancel. They still have to cancel. Like they have to ensure that they're out of the system for them to get services.
And then Anthony, sometimes you can have a rooming house and that rooming house might have 6 rooms in it, but it's still only 2 hookups in the whole house. There might be one upstairs and there might be one downstairs. So sometimes even that rooming house, you could only give, like I had a rooming house, I could only service 2 customers in the house. So the people upstairs had to share a box and the people downstairs had to share a box because there just wasn't enough connections for everybody in that household to have their own separate box.
Thanks. That's answering my question right there. I appreciate you. Y'all answer my question. Y'all the best.
Hey, real quick, let me just jump in here real quick, right? Because there's a few rule of thumbs and a few tips that I think is going to help everybody with this. When dealing with Verizon, Verizon goes by the U.S. Postal System. So you're talking about an address that has a U.S. Postal Service address. A rooming service, a lot of time, is set up locally by the actual address owner, right? So you can have a rooming situation. You can take an apartment and turn it into 6 different apartments, or 6 different rooming situations. If it's not recognized by the U.S. Postal System, that is something that Verizon is going to check first and foremost, right? So we won't just be able to build in a rooming situation. So just keep that in mind. Another rule of thumb is that if it's not a separate kitchen, then the technician is advised not to actually install another hookup there because it is not a separate address. So those 2 tips, I think, can take you guys a long way, because a lot of times customers will tell you, nah, this is a rooming house, man. I got my own room. I pay my own apartment. Yeah, that's not the way that this works. Okay. So obviously, when you run that address, all you got to do is you type in the zip code and then you start to populate the address. Look for the drop-down menu. Don't even let the whole address pop in. Look for the drop-down menu, because not only will that address pop up, but every other unit, suite, or apartment number will pop up for that address, and then you can just deal with it from there. So a lot of times you can deal with a private home. It'll have a basement, 1st floor, 2nd floor, and 3rd floor there, and you can see it, so you know what you got to work with. So when you're dealing with your clients, say, no, this is a private home. I own the whole home, but you actually got 4 addresses to play with at that point. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, or maybe even 2. Like Sade was saying, right? Pull up the address and it might just have an upstairs and it might just have a 1st and 2nd floor. But we know it's a private home. Then you got 2 addresses to play with. At some point, that was looked at like a dual address. And that had to be recognized by the U.S. Postal Service. And at one point, someone came to install. They more than likely verified a separate kitchen. Okay. So cool in the gang. I just want to drop those tips on you. Any others? Silence is golden. Let's get it.
Thank you, Quincy.
Thank you for that, Darlene.
That was
Great
very
job.
helpful information.
Mhm.
You basically saying we could definitely take them down. If it come up in the unit, when the unit option come up, if that's available, that's basically saying it's being recognized by the U.S. Postal Service, so it's available in the same house. All right.
That's good to know. Yes. Great information, Dolly. Okay, so we're gonna throw the ball over to Dudley, who is call center number 1. Let's get it, Dudley.
All right. What's up, guys? Good morning. All right. My name is Dudley Francois. With call center, call center number 1. And one thing I want to talk about today, we can't have 2 agents on the call speaking when the call center, speaking to the Verizon agents. I know you heard that, a lot, but it happens a lot. It happened yesterday, it happened last week, it's happened multiple times. And one thing that I want to say as well, right? One step that you want to take is you want to make sure that you have your ACP ready, right? Or you have your ACP ready, and that's one thing, right? 2, you gotta make sure you already inform the customer as soon as you hear, like it could be like me, Tolly, or Laquita. As soon as they, hey, we about to with the deposit, right? I'm gonna say, hey, okay, hey, give me a minute, but to talk to the credit verification. Let me, when you give me the ACP, right? Let the customer know that's what I'm about to do. I'm about to make sure with the deposit, if they wanna speak to you, this is what's gonna happen. They might say you will have to pay, but don't worry about it. They can actually take care of that for you. Make sure you let the customer know as well, and make sure you don't say anything. We could get in trouble for having 2 agents on. I remember 2-3 weeks ago, somebody was speaking while I was speaking. So the agent was like, "Wait, who is this? We can't have we can't have this going on." And it was a lot of things going on, and I had to close the phone. And it happens a lot. And third thing I want to talk about, right? And it's crazy how, thank you, Miss Charlene and Talia as well. I couldn't drop a fire emoji. My laptop is kind of acting stupid a little bit. Yes, and one thing that I had said, I had written down as well, is talk to your coworkers that's not on the call, and let them know what's going on. For like a lot of time, certain things happen over and over again is because, it's basically like the same people that's actually entering the call 20, and actually getting the same information or probably new information as well. But once you get back to the field, you gotta make sure that, like, let's say if you playing, if you're talking to your friends, if you're talking to your coworkers in the field, or if you see them, right? One thing you might tell them, you might say to them is, hey, did you get on the call today? Yeah, I learned some new things. Just try to talk to them, try to see if you could actually get a conversation with them about, bridge the gap, about how can you actually help them out. Hey, you're not supposed to do that. If they knew, let them know what's going on. That's how we could actually keep the culture going, and knock certain things out, you know what I'm saying? So yes, that's what I have for today. Make sure you talk to your coworkers, let them know what's going on. Because it might not be y'all, but it might be the new recruits, it might be the people that's not getting on the call in the 7 a.m. that's not getting the information. Yeah, so that's what I have for today.
All right, thank you for that, Dudley. Dudley's topic was call center number 1. Don't have 2 agents on the phone while the other agent on call center is speaking, because Verizon does not like that. It's out of protocol, and you can't get in trouble for that. So yes, Dudley, thank you. That was very much necessary to hear. Let's throw some fire in the chat for Dudley. Do you have any questions? Okay, so we will move on. We'll throw the ball over to Crystal still on the call? Okay, I will be the next one to go. So my topic is the 5 Ps to success in the field and in life, period. Number 1 I have is have patience. You know, it's a lot that goes on in the field. You know, sometimes people get frustrated. And, you know, there's no need to get frustrated. You know, everything will work out. You just have to have patience with it. You know, and patience is the capacity to accept or tolerate delay, trouble, or suffering without getting angry or upset. So to not get angry or to get upset when things are, you know, happening, especially yesterday, as what was happening yesterday with the smart card, you know, like Darlie said, basically that you can go right into optics and the customer will have to pay a $99 installation fee, but they're getting free internet. And it's been done like that plenty of times. You know, the customer does not mind doing that. You just have to disclose it to the customer. And like Ms. Charlene was saying, it's a change, but it's a good change. You know, it's something that is learned, and it's very, very good to learn that so that you know that you don't have a mishap. You know, it's nothing bad. It's a good thing. You know, change is definitely very, very good. So having patience in the field with your customer, with doing whatever it is that you're doing, pitching, you know, whatever it is that you're doing, have patience in it. You know, especially when a customer, you feel like a customer is not coming. I've pitched, just continue to pitch. The more you pitch, you know, a customer will come. You don't know when your customer will come, but as long as you're pitching and you're doing it, then it definitely will happen. Number 2, professionalism, which is the competence or skill expected of a professional. So we are the professionals. You know, we work for Verizon. So we want to make sure that we keep that professionalism. We have on the gear, you know, we're out there, you know, people want to look at us as professionals. So we want to make sure that we keep that professionalism as we are out there. You know, if the customer's yelling, the customer's upset, you know, we don't have to get upset. We need to just keep that level, you know, keep it down. But that also comes with getting up in the morning, you know, what are you feeding yourself? You know, what are you feeding your mind and your heart? So that absolutely plays a good part in, you know, how your day goes. So number 2, professionalism. And number 3, positivity. You know, have positivity, be positive, stay positive. You know, it is the practice of being or tendency to be positive or optimistic in attitude. So no matter what, you know, always see things as, you know, you could say roses, see things as roses, see things as being, you know, being happy no matter what it is that you're going through. You know, if you're happy in everything that you do, then things are going to go well. But if we catch an attitude, or we have an attitude, then that's the same thing that's portrayed, and it'll just be adding fuel to the fire instead of, you know, making the fire go down. So it's best to just stay positive in every situation, everything that goes on out there. And it is a lot that sometimes goes on. So it's our attitude. It's what we bring into the field. It's what we do, you know, at the door and everywhere. So that's number 3, positivity. Number 4, I have persuasiveness, not in a salesy way, but it is the action or fact of persuading someone or of being persuaded to do or believe something. So just like with the installation fee, right? So it's being, you know, sales is a persuasive thing at the same time. You know, you're persuading someone to believe in something, to believe that this is what it is. So if we believe in it, the customer will believe in it, but we have to have that strong stance to believe in, you know, but if we feel a little shaky on it, then what do you think the customer is feeling? So persuasiveness is necessary. So the customer understands, you know, but if we have that confidence, then that will go over well with the customer. Okay, and the last thing is poise. Poise is graceful and elegant bearing in a person. So being graceful, you know, being elegant in the field, you know, when you have confidence, you know, you'll stand out from anyone else, or any of the competition that's there, because you have that poise. So, you know, that's my topic, is the 5 Ps to success in the field and life, period. To have patience, professionalism, positivity, persuasiveness, and poise. And those things will give us a great day. And that's all I have for you guys. If you have any questions, let me know.
I have a question.
Yes.
There we go. Okay.
Is that Sade?
Yeah, my camera just seems a little bit off. I can't figure out like I
Okay, there
don't
you
know,
go.
it just seems off. But I do have a question. When it isn't working and we can't waive the fee, is that fee due right then and there, or is it due on their first bill? Like, does it show up on their first bill, or is it due right then and there? Like, I know if you forget to like waive the deposit, it says, or something like that, it makes, or if you forget to where they don't have to enroll in auto pay or whatever, I know it makes you enter credit card information or something like that at the end. Do we have to do that when we're not waiving the installation fees and stuff?
No, the fee is not due right away. The fee actually
Okay.
will come up on their bill.
Okay, so that softens the blow a little bit. It's not like, here, give me $99 right now.
No, and you can let them know that
Okay.
the installation fee does not have to be paid now, and it will be on your, it will come on your bill. But
Okay,
they don't have to pay it at that moment. No.
thank you.
I have, okay. I have a question. Is this something now that we have to like let our customers know they might have to pay an installation fee? Would the Verizon.com not be working? Would that be taken from us? Because especially if I come across customers that don't want to pay nothing, they're like, can I get this for free? When I hit them with, you might have to pay the $99 installation right there, they don't want to hear it, and because they're set on they want free. A lot of people want the free. So is this something that's gonna change in the future, or is it something that I should be like worry about it changing for the customers that don't want to pay nothing? That I have to tell them, hey, they might be a $99 installation. That's the one-time fee, or not? Is that a pitch I have to be, having on standby just in case Verizon.com they take that from us and we can't waive the installation?
I mean, yes, that's definitely something that we want to make sure that we keep in mind, is that if Smart Cart isn't working, and that was just a tool for us to be able to waive that installation, fee. And if it did come that time where it couldn't, I mean, it's nothing bad because it goes onto the customer's bill. It's not like they're out and we're out in the field. We're like, oh, you have to pay this now. You just have to know how to maneuver it. You have to know a pitch to be like, hey, this is what it is. This is free. You've had customers come, right, Maria, that'll say, well, do I have to pay anything right now? They say, oh, no, you don't have to pay anything right now, but it'll just be a $99 installation fee, which will come on your bill, but you do not have to pay it right this second. But you will get, you'll get the free internet, once you do get installed and you apply that discount and you qualify for another internet.
I have another question. I never did the optics without building the smart card. I didn't even know that was possible. So let's say the Verizon.com doesn't work. I don't know if the customer is eligible or not for this service because I'm not getting that response. Good news, Verizon Files is available. So when I go in optics, what I just do, new account, put their information, and it tells me if it's eligible because I can't even go incognito to build a smart card. So I just put the address in it and it will let me know.
Darlie?
I never did it that way.
Yeah, Darlie actually was just spoke on that. So Darlie?
Okay, I'll go over it real quick for you, Maria. Give me 1 second.
Thank you. I appreciate it because I
Thank
need
you.
that information.
Do you have an address I can use? If not, it's okay. If you don't have one on the top of your head.
Yes, I do. I reside at a place that has the service, and I had a place that I used to live that I also had it there. We could do 2555
Hold on.
West Celsius Street.
Hold on. So I just want you to know this is where you're supposed to go, where you press search account, and you've seen this page before, right?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so you would go to new account, and it doesn't matter what you put for a customer name, you just need to put something down so that it lets you move on to the next step. And when I do that, I just put letter and then I press next. Here, That's where you
Mhm.
put the address. And the first thing first is the zip code. So what's the zip code?
1932.
1932? Are we
Mhm.
making
Yes.
number?
And there's
Forgot the
2555.
Hold on.
You forgot the 19132.
Okay. 19132. Thank you. What's the address?
2555 West Seltzer Street, first floor.
Selfish Street? Seltzer?
Yeah, SELTZER. Okay.
You see it?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, so then you would press next, and then it's telling you the address is found, meaning it is in the system, but we don't know yet whether they can get FiOS or not. So you still have to press next to make sure that they are eligible for FiOS. Maybe they can get something else from Verizon, but not FiOS internet. And here they can get FiOS internet. So this is it. This is the page that you're looking for. It has to say services available, FiOS internet. And if it wasn't available, it will tell you service is not available. And sometimes if FiOS is coming to them, it will tell you coming in the next few weeks or the next few months it's coming to them, but they just don't have it as of yet. So this is how you would look it up on Optics, and it's pretty simple. And this way they do have to go ahead and pay the installation fee. So it's not like Verizon.com where you're just waiving the installation fee. You can't waive it here. They do have to pay it, and it's not due the same day. It's due, it's gonna be on their bill. And if the customer seem that they cannot afford it, that's okay. If they can't afford it, that doesn't mean your sale is, is out the door. You can still save your sale, by saving the customer's information, because Verizon, it's gonna come back and start working just like yesterday. It came back working later on the day. So if you save their information, you let them know, it's not guaranteed, but you will see what you can do. The system can get back up, or whenever it's back up and you can with the installation, you can give them a call and just do a new smart card, do the smart card, waive it for them, and then you can still get your sale. It's not something that puts you down or that's messing up with your money. It's still money. It's still money because you can get the sale. Either they gotta pay for the installation, or maybe it's gonna work back and they don't have to pay for it.
Okay, thank you so much, Matarli. Appreciate all that.
No problem.
If
I'm sorry.
Hey, real,
I have-
I have a question.
I'm sorry, but before we go any further, real quick, let me just elaborate on something real quick here. You see that screen that Mathali just got, right? I still would like you to go forward a few more screens. I want you to actually see that FiOS is available and see what products actually come up. Now, there's a few things that you guys should always be prepared for inside that field. Obviously, Verizon.com was never a tool that was given to us, right? It was only given to us as a workaround, meaning that obviously, the workaround is, it's an option to go around getting around the 300 over 300. Understand, before ACP got here, 300 over 300 was just the introductory tier of internet. It wasn't a product that we wanted to sell at all. It was all about the gig. The gig was the fastest speed on the internet, and that's all people wanted, was the fastest speed of internet, obviously, and it paid us more. The 300 over 300 came about once ACP became a thing. Once ACP became a thing, and now it's a free tier of internet, then obviously there. Now, obviously, we never had the option to give them a free installation. We were given a workaround. So with that being said, let's keep that in mind. Verizon.com is not a tool that us as marketing agents should be using. It's given to us as a workaround. Our client understands that we use it, obviously, but we tell them that we use it in times where we have a client that is making a deal that is going to be a deal breaker. Meaning, if you're going to lose a client, then that is a deal breaker. That's when you use it. We have taken it and used it for each and every sale, and it's been to our major benefit. We've been able to make a lot of money with it. But at times like these, where Verizon.com can just be under regular routine maintenance. Why? Because you have agents from 8 different states using it all at the same time, hundreds of sales going through, it can become faulty. And now they may just take it down for a couple of days just to do routine maintenance on it. right? Obviously that's their prerogative, but us as a marketing company, we have to be the best client to the company that we're marketing for. We still have to go out and be the number one solution, obviously. So that's one thing. The next thing is how to sell the product now, right? Obviously, if they need to pay a $99 fee, then absolutely you need to position it the right way. First and foremost, you need to say, hey, by the way, let me ask you, right? Are you actually able to pay a $99 installation fee, which I would, because if you are, I could possibly waive that for you today, and it'll just come on your first month's bill. Did you guys see what I just did? That's just one way to go about it. What I did was I reserved it. I held back, right? Second thing is that obviously I always want you guys to be aware of your promotions. Now, if it is an inactive ONT or is a win back promotion, they get the 300 over 300, that free installation. So look out for that. That's just a part of being aware of your promotions. Look back inside of Telegram, look back at the promotions worksheet, and then pull that out and see what are the times when I can actually give a free installation away. Because a lot of times we do a smart card for an order that is already going to give us a free installation anyway. Does this make sense?
Yes.
Yeah,
Something to
so
be aware of.
can I have a question?
Right. Yes. Give me
So,
1 second. Let me finish making my point real quick. And then the third thing is always make sure that, right, you always reserve something. When you listen closely to your client, right, say, hey, listen, what brings you by today? What makes you interested in our internet service? Listen to them. They will tell you exactly what it is. Well, I need something fast. I got all these kids. My internet is slow. Great. For those customers, give them the gig. Do not give them a 300 over 300 option, right? More than likely, if you listen closely, they're going to tell you, hey, man, I'm paying $80 for internet. Man, $80 for internet? Listen, you know what? Here's the good news. Right now, we got our fastest speed of internet, which is definitely going to increase your speed. And our service is only $49.99 per month because we're going to help you apply your ACP discounts. That saves you half the money and that increases your speed more than double the speed, right? Obviously. Now, what did you just do? You just increase your income 100%, right? Obviously, going from 135 to going to 190 is a big difference, obviously. Now, what that did was that created you more income. But that comes about with increasing your skills and being very aware of your client. So that's exactly what we need to be doing. I'm sorry, Joseph. I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to get that thought out. Talk to me.
oh, no worries. My question is the only situation when they have the installation fee waived without us doing the smart card is there if we sell the gig or if they're a win back customer.
Say it one more time.
I said the only way the installation fee is automatically waived is if we sell the gig or if they're a win back customer, right?
Yes. Okay. So, yeah, right. So they can be a win back customer, also known as what's called the inactive ONT.
Okay.
Okay. But
I have a
it's
question.
hard to even know that unless you put them inside of optics. You can't see that from Verizon.com. So when you get out to the field, few things that you should always be ready with. You should already have your tablet logged into optics already, right? Already ready right there. So you should be literally like, okay, great. Let me check your address, zip code, then address. Okay. And then you want to be efficient and move with speed. Good question. Keep them coming. Let's do it.
I
I
have a
have a
question.
question.
Me.
Right. Who said
I'm
me?
sorry. I believe Anthony Sharp. I think Anthony Sharp was first. I cut him off.
I'm sorry, I came into the meeting a little late. I woke up a little late. I apologize for that. But are we doing, are they charging for installation fees now?
Yeah, you did come late. No.
Okay.
So what
Okay.
happens is that we have a workaround for our 300 over 300, our free tier that's free now with ACP. We've always coached on how to get around that $99 installation fee, which is going to Verizon.com. Us as a marketing company, we should not be going to Verizon.com to place our orders. It's just been a workaround. So obviously the website received some issues, had some issues on yesterday. It threw us for a loop. We didn't know what to do. We couldn't sell the product anymore because we couldn't waive the $99 fee, obviously. right? So we want to coach on how to be efficient as possible if this happens again. Now, obviously, guys, we have to know how to be resourceful, right? We have to move with our cheese, so to speak. Good book, if you guys have ever read it, Who Moved My Cheese? And we want to be prepared. I want you guys not to be scared. I want you guys to be prepared, right? I want you guys to know, like, hey, listen, Verizon.com is down. You know what, ma'am? Great news today. Obviously, right? Usually there's a $99 installation fee. I'm going to be able to waive that for you today, but it will be on your first month's bill. Is that going to be all right? It's going to be a one-time fee of $99.
Can I ask a question?
And then you shut up and you let them ask the question. You know what I'm saying? Like, but don't get over talkative. You literally stop and you say, is that going to be okay? And you do not talk until they answer you. Don't get all antsy and be like, yeah, because I could usually waive it, but Verizon.com is down. And then all of a sudden you lost your sale because you look spooked. Yes, ma'am. Talk to me.
You just made me laugh. So, all right. So now what happens if we're working off our phone? Because I don't have a tablet, ever will have a tablet. So I'm going to forever be working on my phone. So how do I go about, like, if something like that? I didn't run into that issue yesterday. But just in case for future reference.
Absolutely. Ms. Velasquez, you're going to earn a tablet like everybody else, and then you're going to get off that call center, right? Obviously, right
Well, I
now,
have a
though,
tablet,
right?
so thank you. You made my day.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and then, but obviously right now, right, you just want to be prepared. The call center is going to help you, right? And get with Talia and say, hey, listen, what do I need to do to earn a tablet, right? And then this way you'll know exactly when you're going to get a tablet.
So can you, I was told I wasn't ever going to get a tablet. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. How do I earn a tablet?
Okay, we'll take that conversation back, right? Because that's a conversation to have with your general manager.
Okay.
Is Talia on this call, by the way?
She's not.
Okay, very good. Yeah, so we'll take that offline, right? And we'll make sure that we'll get a three-way call going.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
So, excuse me, I'm sorry, Quincy. I'm sorry, Quincy. So for now, what I'm saying is, like, if I run into that situation, how do I go about doing anything?
No, when you call into the call center, they know how to handle it already.
So no, what I'm saying
They
is,
know
what
how
I'm
to handle
saying
it
is,
already. They have that.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm just a little confused. So, because I didn't run it, like I said, I didn't run into that situation yesterday, so I really don't know what's really going on. So you saying because I know my daughter was telling me that she couldn't do something like that, like she ran into that problem. So if I run into that problem where I can't get through to Verizon, whatever, so do I call the call center and they gonna do the smart card for me? Is that what you're telling me?
No, if it's down, then no one can do the call center. No one can do the
Oh,
smart card for you. Obviously,
okay.
at that point there, you're going to need to sell your client. You're going to need to let them know, hey, listen, we usually have a $99 installation fee, right? But if I'm actually able to waive that for you today so that it just comes on your first month bill, is that okay?
All right. So I'm sorry I'm asking so many questions. I feel like a baby over here. So hold on.
Don't be.
So like I said, since I didn't do whatever. So what happened? People was going on their smart card, trying to build the smart card and start to do the smart card, and they wasn't able to, or what was going on? I don't know.
Yeah. Join this call on time. Make sure that you guys join this call on time. Okay. Now, second, that's the first thing. And then second off, right? No, what happens is that Verizon.com, which is a Verizon website for their clients to go on, not for marketing companies to go on, was down yesterday. It was glitching. And because of that glitch, we was not able to waive a $99 installation fee for our client. At that time, it became such a nuance that it stopped sales altogether. And what we're doing is right now, we're coaching on best practices and what to do if and should this happen again.
No, I was hearing that part about how you saying, like, try to go around, like, okay, well, it might not be waived now, but I heard that whole part. What I'm saying is, since I didn't run into that problem. So when that happened, because my daughter, when I was speaking to my daughter yesterday, she said that she wasn't able to get the good news thing anyway. So at that point, when that would have happened, because she lost a couple people because she didn't know what to do, and she thought that See, what happened was, because I know people in Reading. I'm sorry that I'm getting annoying. But I know people in Reading, and I know we service PA, but they didn't have I guess Verizon didn't have the wiring up in Reading yet. So anyway, so forget it, because
I mean, no, that may be true. I'm still listening though. What was the question?
no, she was asking me, and I felt bad because I couldn't even answer because I didn't have the answer because she lost like 3 people. So the question is that when you I guess she was trying to put their address in and it wasn't coming up at all. So that's what I'm saying. So if I was to run into that problem, like say today, how do I go around that part? Because she couldn't even get them in. You know when you put the address and it says good news? Theirs wasn't even saying good news because of
Maria, let's see if I can help you. So what your smart card does, basically that's why we say do the smart card from a customer's phone and stuff like that. What the smart card does is it quintessentially waives that installation fee for the customer. What it does for an agent is basically it tells us whether or not they have the capability to get the FiOS internet. So quintessentially what was taken away from us yesterday is us just being able to know, hey, do they already currently have the internet or can they even get it? What was taken away for the customer is the fact that we can't waive their bill. So now what that did for us was change our pitch and make it, oh, well, now it'll be a one-time fee on your bill. That's how you would be able to keep your customer. But what you're saying is saying that you can't set up a smart card, how would you even know? Once you have your customer, get them interested. Like Quincy said, make your sale, complete your sale, give them your pitch, give them your rundown. If they're okay at this point, all you could do is call the call center. And once you call, let's say you call Matharly, you're gonna give her the information that you would usually put in your smart card, and she's gonna do that for you. And now at this point, she's either gonna say, hey, this customer already has FiOS, and she's gonna talk about that with them, or she's gonna have you talk about that with them, and that's how that would go. You would call your call center, since you can't build your own smart card from your customer's phone. And she'll tell you from there, hey, this customer already has FiOS. And she's going to do what she said earlier, do the name match or figure out what the situation is. And obviously she can either continue with the sale or she can't.
Okay.
And so that would be, how you would solve that without having a smart card or a tablet. You just complete your sale and then call your call center and they'll let you know from there how that's going to go for you.
Thank you.
If that answers your question.
Yes, it did. Thank you.
Thank you, Sade.
Absolutely.
See, patience.
All right, guys, if there's no other questions, let's move on with the call.
So we are going to throw the ball over to Crystal. Let's get it, Crystal. General Manager, MBA.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sunshine.
Morning, Crystal.
Good morning, Crystal.
Good morning. Today, what I wanted to talk about is attending meetings with your team, attending these Zoom calls on time. And the reason why I feel like this is important because a lot of questions that is being asked, if you attend the meetings that is required, you won't have a lot of questions because you already know. You already know about like new products that's coming through, new promotions. Like yesterday, for instance, the stuff that happened yesterday. If you attend a lot of these meetings that you have on Monday with your general manager, or on Zoom, or in fact on time, the questions, it wouldn't be so much, and the meets wouldn't be so long because you already know. But sometimes it get frustrating for someone to be speaking and they have to speak the same thing over and over and over again because somebody's late to a meeting. And, I don't think it's fair for the people that's already got that information and, want to know more, but we have to keep going back and back and back and back to keep saying the same thing that we didn't say it because nobody is attending the meetings and nobody's attending the meetings on time. So I feel like, that is important. And, it need to be a better understanding because people have different things to do with their time. Nobody wants to be going to a meeting and sit there to have nobody show up because you wasted your time and you wasted your general manager's time and it's not fair. So, that's what I wanted to speak on today is time management, being at meetings, being there on time, being doing Zooms, being at the Zoom on time. We all have things to do. We all come across things. We got kids, sometimes we do run late, but a text message to say, hey, I'm running 5 minutes late, but I'm gonna be on the call. Hey, I'm at the hospital with little Ray and he got pink eye, but we'll know. It's I think it just would be better for everybody, because we are a team and we're supposed to be together and lead together as a team. And I think that's where we're lacking at with these meetings and not, being on time or attending. I don't have.
Is that it for you, Crystal?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so Crystal's topic was the importance of team meetings and being in attendance. Just like Crystal just said, if you attend meetings and on time, you will gain knowledge and know what to do. And the speaker will not have to continue to, speak and speak over and over again about the same thing that was already spoken about. So make the meetings on time, be in the meetings, and you will gain knowledge. So thank you for that, Crystal. Amazing. Let's throw some fire in the chat for her. Amazing job. And last but not least, we will be throwing the ball over to Laquita. Let's get it.
Grand Rising team.
Great morning.
Sorry about the darkness. But today I will be talking to y'all about how to call in the call center. So when you call into call center, you will be pretty much introducing yourself. Although we may know you, although we may have already talked or anything like that, we still need to know exactly like who you are, where you're calling from, and if you may have an out of territory sale. So what that means is like, say for instance, if you are in New York and your headquarters is Brooklyn. Say for instance, you call from New York and you say, hey, this is Laquita from New York and I have a customer. If you have an out of territory sale, you would be like, also, I have an out of territory sale. You don't necessarily have to say, oh, it's from Manhattan or anything like that, but it gives us the ability to be able to move faster. So when y'all call in and y'all like, hey, this is so-and-so from Philadelphia, and that's it. We already get the login in. We start logging in. We start putting in our codes to get the process going. Then once we get in and we pull up the ID, the address and things like that, and we see that it's not the territory that it's supposed to be, it's like, dang, then we got to start this process over. And y'all be like, oh, Lordy, like it's taking too long. It's not necessarily that we're trying to take all day or that we're trying to take our time or anything like that. It's with us trying to relog in things that should have, been discussed before. Like, hey, I'm from New York, but I'm calling from, I got a sale for Manhattan. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Ma'am.
Yes.
All right.
I'm in
So
Richmond
that's
and I
pretty
make
much.
New York sales like that.
Huh?
Oh, sorry. I'm on mute.
No, it's not so much as if you make New York sales. That's for any territory. So like, say for instance, if you in VA and you get a customer that's in New Jersey or you get a customer that's in Philadelphia, you can also still place those. But you would have to tell us like, hey, if you call in like, hey, this sale is, I'm from Virginia, but I'm calling the place to sell for New Jersey, or I'm calling the place to sell for PA. Make sense?
So state to state, not zip code to zip code.
It's zip code to zip code if you're in your zip, if you're calling for VA. But if it's
In your
like,
state, right? Okay.
right, if you are outside of that state, then yes, it is state to state. Like you can call from Virginia and place a sale for PA. Make sense? Okay. Is there any other questions? Do y'all guys understand what I'm saying?
Yes, we understand. Appreciate you.
No worries. And that's all I needed to talk to you guys about today.
Thank you for that, Laquita.
No problem.
Appreciate you. Grace. 1 second. So Laquita just spoke on, Laquita's call center number 2, and it's what to say. Her topic was what to say when calling into the call center when there is an out of territory sale. So can we throw some fire in the chat for her? Great job. You have any questions for Laquita?
Nasita, can I ask a question?
Yes.
So remember I was saying about the Redding thing? Is it possible that when I ran that address that day, that's what happened? What happened yesterday? That what was happening to everybody yesterday? Is that possible that it wasn't that the Verizon didn't have the wiring up there, that it could have just been that glitch that day? Same thing?
Yes. Yes, that's what it could have been.
I can answer on that too. I have families and friends there, and I actually had a lot of people reach out to me for the service in Reading. I don't know if they have the wiring, but a lot of the areas that I check not available for the service. I try to do my sister, my best friend, people that I have acquaintances in Facebook. They hit me from all different areas in Reading. So I don't know if they have the wiring, but all the areas that I checked were not available for the service. And this was before they were having the Verizon.com, so I know that for sure.
All right.
And even with that being said, I just wanted to add, sometimes we've talked about this a lot on the calls, double back to those addresses. I keep a notebook. So if somebody doesn't have internet, I still write down their name and their address, because you never know. You might check back 2 weeks later and they got hooked up for Fios capability. You understand what I'm saying? So even if they don't, still write down those addresses, because now you know that that person is interested in internet and Fios capability might come to their area. So just write down those addresses, and maybe a week later, 2 weeks later, go back and recheck those addresses. You might get 1 out of 5 that, oh, they got the Fios capability now. Like my mother lives in Louisa, Mineral, Virginia, and when I checked her address, they don't have it right now. But I know when I got stuck in Louisa the other day, I'm like, is that a Verizon truck? What are they doing out here? And my mom is like, oh, they're giving us Wi-Fi. And I'm like, yes. So always keep those addresses and go back, and it never hurts to double check. Maybe it was a glitch that day, you never know. Or maybe they really just didn't have the capability, but they will get it soon.